Hey guys, how's it going? All right, happy weekend. Congratulations, you've made it through yet another week. And here we are going to go over areas of trapezoids and rhombuses. This is section 10.2. Excuse me. All right, I think that's the last one. Bless me. All right, so area of a trapezoid. This is probably a new formula for you. Not as much of a review as 10.1. But here we go. And we are going to call this part and this part the base. Base 1 and base 2. And to find the area of the trapezoid, you're going to take base 1 plus base 2, add them together, and multiply it by the height. So the height right here has to be perpendicular. All right, once you do that, you'll divide it by 2, and boom, you're going to have your area of a trapezoid. All right, so let's just start with some examples. And I'll just cover this up for a sec. All right, so these would be your two bases. You would add them together, multiply them by the height, and divide by 2. Here we go. 205 plus 511 times 309 divided by 2. And there it is. That would be your area. 716, the two bases added together, times the height, 221,244 divided by 2. And that would be your area. All right, I contemplated doing this one, and I think I will. Okay, so what happens here is we have another trapezoid. Right, again, we're going to add our bases together, 5 plus 7, and we're going to multiply it by the height. But if you notice, you'll see that I've already found my height. But here in this figure, I don't know what my height is. All right, but I do know that this is 90 degrees and this is 60, which means that must be 30, and voila, I have a special right triangle, 30, 60, 90. All right, let's not forget that I can figure out all the sides. The first thing is, Mrs. Black, where did you get 2 for this side? Well, I knew that this was 5 and this whole thing was 7. So if I subtracted the 2, 7 minus 5, I got 2. And 2 is across from my 30, which means that's n. All right. And across from my 90 would be 2n, which would be 4. And across from my 60, which is actually my height, would be 2 rad 3. So that's where, when I've moved back to my problem, I have 5 plus 7, my two bases, times my height, 2 rad 3, divided by 2. All right, when I add those together, I get 12. 12 times 2 is 24. And then it's still over 2. I can reduce that part. 24 divided by 2 would be 13. Would be 12, not 13. And there you go, area of a trapezoid. All right, let's talk about rhombuses for a second. Again, another equation that might look a little new to you. All right, area of a rhombus. It's your diagonal one, all right, that slices through and is perpendicular, remember, and they bisect each other. Remember all of those rules of a rhombus, times diagonal 2, and then you divide it by 2. All right, so let's give it a shot. I'm going to skip over this one. We might try that one in class. And I'm going to move down to this one right here. All right, so here's one of my diagonals. All right, and this part is 3, and this part is 3. I would add them together, and that would be 6. And here's one of my diagonals. This part is 4. This other part is 2. I would add them together, and that would also be 6. So I would do 6 times 6, which is, excuse me for my writing, 36 divided by 2, and I would get 18 units squared. All right, this diagonal is 6, this diagonal is 6. When you multiply them, 36. 36 divided by 2, 18 units. And that is your video for tonight, guys. Have a great weekend, and I will see you Monday.